Okay, students. Next, the muscles. We are discussing the stomach under heading stomach. The muscles in the small intestine mix food with more digestive juice. Some juice are secreted by the cells of the small intestine itself. Other come from the liver, which is the largest gland in the body, and the pancreas, that is located just below the stomach. Here we can see that the muscles of the small intestine mix food with more digestive juice, and that digest the food in the small intestine, and some juice are secreted by the cell of the small intestine itself, and some juice, digestive juice, secreted by the liver. Or we know that the liver is the largest gland in the body, and pancreas also secretes some juice that is located just below the stomach. Or these all juices perform the digestion process of the food. The liver secretes bile juice, which is stored in the gallbladder. The bile breaks up fats into tiny droplets that can be digested and absorbed more easily. You know that bile juice has the ability to break up fats into small droplets of the food that can be digested and absorbed easily. The digestive juice then act on these tiny droplets to form simpler compounds known as fatty acids, and glycerol. The pancreas secretes the pancreatic juice that changes starch into simpler sugar and proteins into simpler compounds called amino acid. Okay, student, you know that the digestive juice that act in these food small droplets to form simpler compounds. These compounds are known as fatty acids and glycerol also. And you know that pancreas also secretes pancreatic juice that changes the starch into simpler sugar and proteins into simpler compounds that are called amino acids. Our next heading is absorption. Absorption. What is the meaning of absorption? Absorption means to take in something. Under this heading, we will study how these sugar, protein, and amino acid can be useful to our body because they can absorb easily in these forms. Okay, Now we read this heading: absorption. The wall of the small intestine has tiny finger-like projections called villi, and its singular is villus. This increases the surface area of the wall for the absorption of digested food. These villi are richly supplied with blood vessels they absorb nutrients and transport them to different parts of the body through blood. Water is absorbed in the large intestine. Okay, students, in this heading absorption, we know that our small intestine has tiny finger-like projections. These projections are called villi. They increase the surface area of the wall of the small intestine that absorbs more of digested food, and these villi are richly supplied with blood vessels. They absorb nutrients and transport them to the different parts of the body through blood. These villi absorb nutrients and transported these nutrients to the whole body by the blood, and water is absorbed in the large intestine. Next heading is assimilation. Assimilation. The food absorbed in the blood is transported to different parts of the body. We know that the food that is absorbed by your small intestine is transported to the whole body through the blood vessels. It is used to provide energy and materials for growth. These nutrients or food are used to provide the energy to our body and the material for the growth of our body and repair of body tissues. This is the final stage in the process of digestion and is known as assimilation. This final stage is also known as assimilation. The oxygen we inhale helps to break down glucose into water and carbon dioxide. When we inhale oxygen through our nose, it breaks down the glucose present in our blood and convert it into the water and carbon dioxide. This process releases energy. Therefore, the circulatory, respiratory, and digestive system work together to help us get energy from food. In this way, we can say that our circulatory, respiratory, and digestive system work together to get the energy from the digested food. The absorbed amino acids are converted to proteins and help to repair old and worn out tissues. You know that the amino acid that is absorbed by the small intestines, it gets converted to the proteins, and these proteins helps us to worn out our tissues. They are also needed for growth, and protein is also needed for growth. The fatty acids and glycerol are remade into fats. Or fatty acid and glycerol also made fats, which are either used or stored and act as energy reserves. These fats either used or stored, or these fats act as the energy reserves for further use. After this heading, we will study egestion. What is the egestion? Egestion, what is the meaning of egestion? Egestion means throughout the waste product. The undigested food, after the assimilation, some food remains undigested. The undigested food along with water moves down into the large intestine. We know that the food that are undigested moves down along with water into the large intestine. The large intestine is shorter than the small intestine and is wider. You know that the largest intestine is shorter than the small intestine in length, but it is wider than the small intestine. It is about 1.6 meter in length and 6 centimeter wide. Okay, it absorbs water and useful minerals from the watery mass of undigested food remains. The food that is remain undigested is absorbed water and useful minerals in our large intestine. The undigested food material becomes semi-solid and is then called feces. After the absorption of water and minerals, this undigested food becomes semi-solid and it is called feces. It passes through the large intestine and is stored in the rectum. It gets expelled out from the body through anus at periodic intervals. You know that we throw out the waste product of our body in the regular interval after the digestion and absorption of the food. or useful minerals is called digestion. Let us come to the next heading, ruminants. Okay students, now we will study ruminants. We have discussed the human digestive system process, and now come to the next topic, ruminants. Okay, ruminants are hoofed plant eating animals that digest their food in 2 steps. Some examples are cows, buffaloes, goats, sheep, and bison. The 2 steps involved in eating of ruminants are: number 1, the ruminant first eats the food and regulates a semi-digested food called cud. Second, the ruminant then eats the cud when at rest. This process of eating the cud is called ruminating. Okay, students, now we study how these ruminants digest their food. We have already learned there are 2 processes that ruminants do in their digestion process. Ruminants have a special stomach with 4 chambers. These chambers are rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasums. First one is rumen. Rumen is the largest chamber of the stomach. It is mainly used for storing food. Here you can see that this is the rumen part of this cow. Second one is, from the rumen the food enters the second chamber called the reticulum. In fact, the rumen and reticulum are closely associated and their contents mix freely. In these 2 chambers, the food is partially digested and converted into a soft pulp called the cud. Third one is, bypassing the first 2 chambers, it enters the third chamber, the omasum, where food is broken down into still smaller pieces. Excess water is absorbed. And fourth is, finally it enters the 4th chamber, the abomasums, which is the true stomach. Enzymes act upon the food and digestion progress. Okay, now we will discuss how ruminants digest their food. First of all, we have to understand what are ruminants. Ruminants are plant-eating animals that digest their food in 2 steps. Ruminants digest their food in 2 steps. Some examples of ruminants are goat, buffalo, cow, etc. These 2 steps, what are these 2 steps in which ruminants digest their food. First, rumens eats the food and regurgitates a semi-digested food called cud. And second, the ruminants then eats the cud when at rest. When they are at rest, this process of eating the cud is called ruminating. Ruminants have a special stomach with 4 chambers. These chambers are rumen, reticulum, omasum and abdomasum. The digestion process of ruminants starts from rumen. First one, rumen is the largest chamber of the stomach. It is mainly used for storing food. From the rumen, food enters the second chamber, that is called reticulum. In fact, rumen and the reticulum are closely attached or associated with each other, and their contents mix freely in these two chambers. In these two chambers, the food is partially digested and converted into a soft pulp, that is called cud. In these two chambers, rumens and reticulum, the food is converted into a soft pulp, and this soft pulp is called cud. Bypassing the first two chambers, the food enters into the third chamber, that is called omasum. In omasum, the food is broken down into a more smaller pieces, and excess water is absorbed here. After the third